What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here. We are back with another manga video. Now, this manga video is going to be me giving you 3 of my manga recommendations for this summer. In fact, 3 of some of my favorite series in manga in general. I know a lot of you guys asked me for manga recommendations, and in fact, last month, I even said it, me and Boogie had a collab video on his channel of 3 mangas that you should definitely read this upcoming summer. And on this video, I will definitely be telling you 3 of my favorite series in case you want to read them over the summer, in case you got time, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be out of school, maybe gone from college campus, I don't know, or maybe you're just gonna have a lot of time during the summer. It's gonna be nice, pretty outside, and what's better to do than see the outside, see how beautiful nature is, and just stay inside, right, in the cool AC, and just read some manga. Am I wrong or what? I know later on in this video, I'm gonna have to leave to go on my trip for LA, but don't worry, I will leave you with 3 more recommendations from someone else because I gotta go visit, my boy over there in LA, but I can't let y'all know about that yet. You guys will see that later on in the video, but like I said, right now y'all gonna be here with me, and then later on when I go to LA, then you'll see my boy give his 3 manga recommendations as well. But before we get into this video, before I give you 3 of my recommendations, I gotta say shout out to my Patreon pledgers for going ahead and financially supporting the channel. I gotta say I highly appreciate what you guys are doing for me. Hold it down over there on Patreon. You guys deserve the biggest Dark Sage hug that I can give you. And don't forget, if you are a Patreon member, you do get early access to my videos. So go ahead, check out the Patreon. Link is in the description down below. Secondly, I gotta give a shout out to Broke Boy Gang, aka Notification Squad, because they saw the video, they saw the title, they know who else is coming up in this video as well. And they already knew to hit the like button on this video, and they already went to their channel, commented Broke Boy Gang on their video as well. And they also left a like over there as well. So I gotta say, I appreciate Broke Boy Gang for all the love and support that they also showing me as well. But if you're not a part of that, you want to be, go ahead, do me a favor. It's all for free. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, post notification bell. It's like when Yuji and Toto teamed up in Jujutsu Kaisen. You just gotta have the 2 together. But you also gotta hit the like button, and you gotta share the video as well. That way you can help your boy grow. And lastly, if you have not already, go ahead, follow me on all my other socials. All my links will be in the description down below, and so will the person I'm visiting in LA today. I can't tell y'all that, even though y'all probably see the title, but I can't tell y'all that. So go ahead, check all the social links in the description down below for me and him. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, for this video, it took me a while to actually form my 3 favorite series because obviously you guys know I love series like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Dragon Ball Z, just to start with some. And those series are very great shonen jump series with great paneling, great artwork, and just great action in general. But I thought that'd be a little too easy. Now, I do have a number 1 easy on this list right here, but I also got 2 other series that I gotta recommend to you guys because I see a lot of you guys might be sleeping on it because there's an anime for it, but there's also the manga version as well. And honestly, I think some of you guys might actually enjoy the manga version a little bit better than the actual anime. In fact, I think 2 out of the 3 are for sure better than their anime counterparts. So let's go ahead and go on with the first one. Number 1, and this is the one I had to get out the gate, was One Piece. That's right, my Mugiwaras. That's right, my Nakamas. I had to talk about One Piece. And you thought I was going to bring out the first volume. No. I got to bring out this volume since it does give homage to the first volume. But One Piece is definitely a great series for the summertime. Now, this series is pretty long. I know. When you look at One Piece, you see either the episode number or the chapter numbers. Don't worry. I got you on that end. Your boy Dark Sage, he got a little hookup for you. This is the thing. One Piece is over 1,000 chapters, right? Well, get this. If you read about 10 chapters a day, and it's going to be during summer, so you're definitely going to be reading more than that. If you read 10 chapters a day, divide that 1,000 by 10. I'm sorry, I know this isn't school, but divide that 1,000 by 10. It's going to take you 100 days to catch up. Come on, what's better than that? It's going to take you about 3 months to catch up with this, I think. Is my math wrong? I feel like my math is wrong on that. But yes, One Piece is a great Shonen Jump title because you guys know that I love my Shonen Jump titles. One Piece is a great Shonen Jump title about a boy who eats a fruit and gets the powers of Mr. Fantastic. I'm not going to explain One Piece to y'all because y'all know what One Piece is. I'm sorry, y'all do. It just makes no sense. But yes, One Piece is definitely my first manga recommendation on this list. I'm not going to give too much of a detailed analysis of One Piece. If you want to see more content on One Piece, I definitely do have reviews on the channel as well. But One Piece is definitely my number 1 recommendation for people who want to get into good Shonen Jump series. This is probably the best Shonen Jump series. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Secondly, we got this Prison School. Oh, wait, Prison School. How did that get there? Whoa, how did that get there? I didn't put that right there. Editor, what did I tell you? No Nasty Man manga this video. This is not the video for that. Oh my God, we're gonna make a video for that later on maybe. I don't know. I'm sorry for my editor's mess up right there. I would never put Prison School in my top my top two because it's number 0. It's way better than all the other ones I'm talking about. But we're not gonna put Prison School in this list right here. Second series I gotta give it up to is Yu Yu Hakusho, and a lot of you guys know that Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite anime series of all time. It does definitely have the old pull-up god. I mean, come on. Luffy is the new pull-up god, but it does have the OG pull-up god himself, Yusuke. And this series is basically about a delinquent. That's right, I said delinquent. Don't ask me how to spell that though. This series is about a delinquent who one day, just out of the kindness of his heart, jumps out in the traffic to save this little boy who actually lost his ball in the middle of the street. In the midst of that, he actually gets hit by a car and he dies. Like, within the first chapter. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. You're like, what happens next? Well, honestly, guys, if you have not heard of Yu Yu Hakusho, this is one of Tagashi's works. And if you don't know who Tagashi is, you might know one of his other more popular titles. Hiatus X Hiatus. Oh, shoot. What did I just say? I meant Hunter x Hunter. My bad. But this is another series created by Tagashi before Hunter x Hunter, which is kind of Hunter x Hunter's predecessor. And this series is fantastic. If you like action, you're definitely going to like this. If you like tournament arcs, you're definitely going to love this because this series has the best, and I'm going out on record saying this, the best tournament arc in Shonen Jump, in fact, anime manga history. Ain't no tournament arc beating the Dark Tournament, and the villains in Yu Yu Hakusho, especially Toguro. I'm not gonna say too much. But he's one of my top 5 villains of all time because the way Toguro just comes up on the scene, he's kind of a pull-up god in himself. Adding the villains, I can't put him higher than Dio because Dio's on a whole nother level. But Toguro is such a great antagonist for the character of Yusuke, especially in the Dark Tournament saga. And the cast of main characters that you get with Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama in this series, oh my gosh, it's so fantastic. The chemistry works well within this series. If you guys like your comedy within your action, go ahead, check out Yu Yu Hakusho. This series has some great action. It definitely is the father of some other shonen series you might know, aka Bleach, which kind of has like a similar type of tone and similar kind of plot to Yu Yu Hakusho, at least in the early days. But yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, I believe it only has 19 volumes and it's actually finished. So if you want to read a completed series, go ahead, check out Yu Yu Hakusho. Trust me, you will not regret it. And my last manga recommendation that I have to give you guys is One Punch Man. Now, I honestly did not expect to actually put One Punch Man on this list. One Punch Man is definitely a different series that I did not expect to put on this list because obviously while the story itself is not great and while there's not that much plot within the actual One Punch Man, I think the actual gag of itself being kind of a parody on shonen tropes and just having your main character literally be the strongest character already within the series. Like, he's the strongest character in the first chapter. Like, it is insane. But the reason I put One Punch Man on here, honestly, is more of a sentimental reason because while One Punch Man came out, at least the anime version of it came out, I wasn't really into anime like that, but I was into the MCU universe when they was coming out with all those movies through Disney. And honestly, what's better than seeing a superhero anime? Now, to me, that really wasn't common back then, but now we have series like this and My Hero Academia. But when I first saw One Punch Man, I saw it was 12 episodes and I gave it a whole binge. I think I watched that season like 3 times. Now, I knew One Punch Man had more to promise, so I started picking up the manga. That way I reread all of season 1. I read some of season 2, even though I watched most of season 2 actually while it was airing, and honestly, season 2 is definitely a downfall, and this is one of the series where I think that the manga is better than the anime because the manga's artwork is some of the best artwork that I have seen in manga history. Trust me, guys. The way that Yusuke Murata brings one's creations to life, oh my god. If you can find something better than this, which I know you can, but just go with me right here, right? If you can find something better than this, I don't know where you found it because this right here is like God just painted on an easel and this came out. It's One Punch Man. But this series is mainly about a guy named Saitama who became super powerful and he literally defeats all his foes within one punch. Now, we have heard of this stereotype where the main character is the strongest character in said universe, just like Goku being the strongest, even though Gohan is stronger than him in DBZ. But like Goku being the strongest because of him having Ultra Instinct, or Naruto being the 6th path sage or whatever. He's super powerful as well. Well, One Punch Man, out the gate, he's super powerful at the beginning of his series. In fact, he is the most powerful. He literally defeats all these foes within one punch. He literally one-shots them. And I think that this series is definitely one that was needed within the shonen genre because while this series isn't really action-heavy, the action panels are definitely dope. Now, it does become more action-heavy later on within the chapters, at least in the current chapters as of right now, because this series is still ongoing. But early on, it's more focused on the comedy because honestly, is the world really in peril if Saitama is there? I mean, come on, let's make this make sense now. But I honestly think One Punch Man is such a great gag slash action shonen that you guys should check out, especially with the superhero trope thing happening right here, because all these superheroes, they want to be these big bad guys, but they all have something bad about them. Like, they're either insecure, not powerful enough, they're doing it for the money, or they're just doing it for the recognition themselves. While Saitama, he just wants to be a superhero for fun. And I honestly just like that concept. Saitama doesn't have any big goals, because honestly, what bigger goal can you have when you're the strongest person on the goddamn planet? In fact, maybe in the goddamn universe. He did one shot at Alien at the end of season 1. But yeah, guys, I gotta go real quick. I still gotta do some packing, and I gotta go to LA. I can't miss this plane trip right here. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all later. In fact, I gotta go, guys. Bye. See you. Peace.
Attention. All passengers on flight 152 report to gate 47.
So I think the Dark Sage has something for me to read here. Hold on. Looks like it says, don't forget to use the Dark Sage's Right Stuff affiliate link down below. Wait, dude! Is this an ad read? Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Boogie Snacks. You can go ahead and call me Boogie, and today the Dark Sage has asked me to recommend you guys 3 of my personal favorite series that I could recommend to you at home that you can enjoy this summer and beyond. Now, when the Dark Sage reached out to me and asked me to give you guys 3 of my favorite series, I was like, dude, how are you supposed to pick a favorite? Look at the wall of manga behind me. But I thought that I could narrow it down to 3 series that I really do love and that I thought would be easily accessible to his audience. But enough of the chitter chatter. Let's go ahead and jump on into the first recommendation, okay? Alright, so for my first recommendation, I'm gonna go with one that is near and dear to my heart. It's one of my all-time favorite reads and watches. If you want to go ahead and watch anime, it's a great place to start. You can watch it on Crunchyroll. This is one that I'm gonna recommend you to read digitally and pick up digitally, because if you want to read it physically, especially the original release, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, I'm not gonna lie. But do not let that discourage you from checking out Great Teacher Onizuka, or known as GTO. So Great Teacher Onizuka, or GTO, which I'll refer to for the rest of this video, started serializing in about 1997 to about 2002. So statistically speaking, this is probably older than a few of you watching this video right now. But do not let the old school vibes of this series deter you from reading GTO, because this series has definitely withstood the test of time, and it is an instant classic in my book and many others. Now, the story follows our main protagonist, who is a 22-year-old ex-gang member, Onizuka. Now, in the beginning of this story, Onizuka gets it in his head through a series of events that he wants to become a school teacher, like that ex-gang member school teacher vibe. So Onizuka then proceeds to go to a second-rate Japanese college to get his teaching credentials to go ahead and teach in the classroom setting in his own unique, loud, aggressive, unorthodox, slightly pervy way of teaching, which is very special and unique to Onizuka. Now, sprinkle in a little bit of romance, some fantastic character writing, and of course a well-paced story. It is no wonder why Great Teacher Onizuka has stood the test of time as an instant classic in my book and many others, and I highly recommend you check out the series. So moving on to recommendation number 2. This series I had to recommend because when I was thinking of creating this list of series that I thought y'all would enjoy, I had just come home from work. I work in a 9-to-5 setting, very corporate environment, and this is a series that I typically recommend on my channel to a lot of the older audience out there because it is just so dang relatable. This will be some of the most relatable laughs that you will get out of this romance comedy slash slice of life series, and I hope you absolutely enjoy Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku. Now, this series is great for a myriad of reasons, but one of them, which I just absolutely fell in love with, is that you end up rooting for these two weebs to just fall in love in the adult setting, whether they be at work, at a bar, she's bringing him into like the shoujo section of the comic book store, or just shopping for figures, or going to conventions. You just end up rooting for these two weebs, and it's just so darn relatable, especially if you're a little bit older, and it tackles the conversation of what it's like to be an adult and live with the stigma of being otaku in the working environment. So that's Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku. Once again, one of my favorite series. I had to recommend it. It's so good, and most people that I turn this series onto, they end up really digging this series, so I hope you do too. So what I was thinking for my third and final recommendation of the video, my thoughts were going more towards what the Dark Sage talks about, which is a lot of shonen and seinen styles of content. This was quite an addicting read, albeit very dark, gory, with some definite adult scenes. So if that's not for you, this recommendation will not be for you. But for a second, I would like to talk about Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi. Now, this series is going to be for those of you that enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul, or maybe you didn't enjoy the actual anime or manga of Tokyo Ghoul, but you like the vibe or the premise of what the story would actually be. Happiness follows those vibes, not to a T, but you can definitely compare the two. The basic premise is that we have our main character who is at school and is a student who doesn't necessarily have the strongest backbone and finds himself being bullied a lot while at school. Now, I mentioned Tokyo Ghoul, and in the world of Tokyo Ghoul, we have an earth where we share it with ghouls who very much look and interact like humans, except they don't eat food. They prey upon humans and survive off of blood. And instead of ghouls, we have vampires sort of operating very much the same way within the story of Happiness. Earth is shared by these vampires that we don't really know too much about in the beginning of the story. Now, flash forward to a part in volume 1 where we have our main character who is going for an innocent bike ride and just unsuspectingly gets attacked by a vampire who gives him a choice. He can either die and just become food right there on the spot, or he can become a vampire himself. And thus begins our journey where we have our character wake up after getting attacked by a vampire, sort of groggy, not really remembering much, and much like Tokyo Ghoul, starts to have these conundrums that start popping up where light is starting to affect him a little differently, food isn't tasting the same, or he just isn't hungry, and he goes off in search of answers. And the myriad of conundrums that sort of arise within the story and the chaos, how it just unfolds, is beautifully well done. I think Oshimi really does do a lot with facial expressions, character movements, foreshadowing. I will say one thing about the series is it isn't wordy. There is a lot of panels here that just have no dialogue whatsoever, but you still definitely understand with what's happening. So this is going to be a great series for those of you that like high action, very mysterious, very graphic sort of things happening in a series. I will say that Happiness was an immediate binge read for me. It's very easy to get all 10 volumes and binge it in a week. I've heard stories of people even binge reading it in a single night. So it's one of those page turners that you just can't put down. All right, so before I get out of here, I'd like to just give one last shout out to the Dark Sage for having me on the channel and being able to give you guys some recommendations for the summer and beyond. This has been an absolute blast. These collaboration videos are some of my favorite things to make on YouTube, period. So once again, thank you for the time. And everyone, I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you found some new series or reminded of a series to check out or inspired to check out a genre of series. All right, so once again, thank you so much. My name is Boogie Snacks. You can go ahead and call me Boogie, and I'll see you sometime down the road. Be good, everyone.
Whew, like I was saying, Boogie, prison school, definitely peak fiction. You know I gotta put you onto some nasty man manga. I mean, come on, when I was out in LA, Boogie, I gotta call you back. So I see that I left the camera on for my trip to LA, you know what I'm saying? I had to check in on the boy Boogie and see what his 3 manga recommendations would be for this upcoming summer, because I know you guys are gonna have a lot of time on your hands, so it's time to put your head in those books, and I don't mean the study books, I mean the real manly books. The books that turn you from a boy to a man. I'm talking about some manga. But yeah, guys, that's about it for the video. Sorry I left the camera on this long. I thought I turned it off when I went to LA. I guess things just really happen like that. But yeah, guys, I gotta give a big thank you to my boy Boogie Snacks. Go ahead, check out his channel. If you like quality manga content, go ahead, go over there, subscribe to the channel, and tell him that your boy Dark Sage sent you. But that's about it for the video, guys. If you guys did like this video, go ahead, show your boy Dark Sage some love as well by liking the video, sharing the video, also subscribing if you have not already, and go ahead and hit that post notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with newer and doper content. I gotta say thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.